This is Iris from Cashmere Goat in Camden, Maine.
And in this video, I'm going to give you just a little bit of an overview, orientation, tour, if you will, of Ravelry, which is, as you may know, a massive database of user generated, user input for knitting patterns, for crochet patterns, for even weaving patterns. It's a place where big designers and little designers can upload their patterns and people can just browse and purchase to their heart's content. However, what we have heard from our customers is that sometimes using Ravelry is a little overwhelming. So this first video is just going to give you a little bit of an orientation at its most basic, some ways that you can just understand how it's set up. So right now we're looking at the home page of Ravelry. And so there's right away, we've got some helpful links here. So there's a getting started link right here. There's a discussion board for help, and there's even a help page. So that's just handy to know about. Like many databases, Ravelry is set up so that you can search it in many ways. So there's some different entry points. So you may notice I've got this quick search box here that's showing me a default to its, search patterns. Okay, so I could plug in a pattern name right here. But I've also got over on this upper bar here on the left, upper left-hand side of the screen, I have also patterns. So I could do a quick search over here in this little box, or I could click on patterns here. And when I click on patterns, I am brought to the search pattern pages, which is very interesting. I can look at some of the debut designers. So these would be first-time designers. It's really nice that they have that to pop up. And then there's some recently added debut. I can see what my history is. I can see what I've looked at recently. I can see some highlights, and I can also see what's hot, what's trending, what are people making right now, which is always really interesting for me when I'm thinking about working in the shop. It's fun to look at what is rising to the top because chances are I'll be asked about it in the shop. I can also see right now it's defaulting to knit and crochet, but if I want to personalize further, I can click on crochet or knitting. So a tip that is, I love telling people about this, Ravelry, upper left-hand corner, the nice icon right here. This is like my home button. This is if I just want to get back to that first page, here I am. So on every single page, you can return to this page by clicking on this Ravelry icon in the upper left. On this page, there are blog posts. We're seeing a lot of Halloween because it's sort of near that time. Some really fun crocheted things, craft along. So this is just a fun page. You could browse this. The other place I just sort of want to show you over here on the right-hand side of the screen. Let me just zoom in here. So right-hand side of the screen, I've got a little shopping bag, so I can see I've got 2 patterns in my shopping bag right now. I have 40 messages in my inbox. Don't ask about that. I am not a zero inbox person. We'll just leave it there. Also, I use a lot of the notebook feature, but I skipped over a reply to posts. So that's where I can come and look at if I've created a post or added a post to a pattern, there might be a reply to me. Okay, back to notebook. Okay, notebook I use a lot, and I've got a project page. So that's where if I've created projects in Ravelry, by clicking on this, I can have an overview, or these are all things that I've made and that I have uploaded as a project here to Ravelry. Again, notice that I have this ability to move along these various words at the top bar of the page, but additionally, I have the same words in this drop down. Again, this is just one of those ways where for some people it's easy to just go to the top bar, others might like the drop down. It's just totally your preference. Same gets you the same place. The queue is kind of like where you could rank the things you want to make. So some people really are are dedicated to adding things to their queue and taking them off. It's just a way to sort of like organize all that fun maker energy that we have where we just want to make all the things all the time. You can catalog your stash. You can add in some hand spun, have a designation for hand spun yarn. You can add in tools that you might have, you know, a catalog of your hooks, your needles. Um, Favorites is a place where I come to a lot because if I see a pattern, there's so many patterns I hear about at the goat, and if I see things online, and it's just sort of a way of me going, oh yeah, that's cool. I like something about that. I'll add it to my favorites. There's really no limit. I have like over 200, I think. And then library is the place where I come where these are purchased patterns, patterns that I have purchased. So you will see, like we saw this Flower Power cowl on the previous page. That's because I favorited it, but I also bought it. So these are the patterns that I have purchased and that exist in my library. Okay, and then here's me, my icon, my profile, which I can change. I can change my theme. And then I have this little pro page, and that's because I published my first design. Okay, so back over here, I'm again using my back home button. So that's sort of just the very quick, the very dirty of how you sort of begin to think about using Ravelry as a tool. It's just a sort of navigational, way to help you understand how to get around. And in future episodes of this little mini podcast about using Ravelry like a pro, we're going to talk about some of the other features that we use a lot when we're working with customers in the store, and that we thought that folks might be interested in hearing more about. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. You could leave us a comment. Also, leave us a comment if there's a feature or facet of Ravelry that you get stumped on or are flummoxed by, because we could create a little video just for that. Don't forget to follow us here on YouTube, also on Instagram and Facebook. And in the meantime, happy making.